Hey friends, it's Alyssa Rushton here, your energy intuitive with your October energy update. Each month, I love to share these energy updates with you so that you can dive even deeper into the energies and work with them and ride those waves even more masterfully than you already are so that you can create magic and miracles no matter what's going on in the world. And in October, we have a lot of very potent, hard-hitting energies coming through. So let's dive right in and talk about the themes for October. This month, we've got fresh light coming in, and that means new beginnings, new chapters, and new yous. We've also got this butting of the heads energy and real change pushing forward. And lastly, moments of truth. So let's dive on in and talk about what's coming this month of October. Are you ready? And in October, there's this beautiful fresh light coming in. We've got 3 moons this month, a full moon on the 1st, and then we've got a new moon, and then another full moon on the 31st. There's a lot of astrology that's going on to support all of this fresh light and all of this new energy coming on to the planet for you right now. Now, in October, with this fresh light, think about ways that you can freshen your environment, freshen yourself, freshen who you are. It's this new energy of the new you, of new beginnings. Now, whenever we have all this new energy coming forward, there's this opportunity that you have before you. And that opportunity is to really create significant and meaningful change. So your role and your goal here with these energies, if you choose it, is to create something so new that it makes the old obsolete. Think back to times when people used to ride horses and buggies around as a form of transportation, and then cars came out. And at first, when cars came out, that new energy, many people were against cars. They thought it was an evil contraption. And now you wouldn't simply think about riding your horse down the street. We have a different mode of operating in the world. So when we are in this place with all of this new energy coming forward, you're being given this opportunity to create something so new, so fresh, so beyond what the norm is, that it actually makes the old obsolete. And that's really the time right now. So questions to ask yourself are, what do I want to create in my physical body? What do I want to create in my financial body? What do I want to create in my energy body? What would my ideal life look like? And what are the choices and thoughts and feelings that I would do every day look like? What are the clothes that I would wear? How would I be doing my world really differently? For example, if I'm riding a horse around town, I'm wearing actually different clothes than if I'm driving inside of a car. So if you are doing energy so differently, there's all parts of you have to shift and change to accommodate that change. So be thinking this month, and this month is when all this energy is just pouring in for you to utilize and harness this energy of how can you do it differently. Right now, you're being called and asked to be an example of this new energy. You know, just like the people who were originally driving cars around, showing everybody that, yes, this was okay and that it was safe. You are being called forward to create this new energy. You're being called to be that example of the new energy so that other people can see, oh yes, this is safe. Oh yes, I too can do this. Now, this is not always an easy task, and recreating yourself and your life isn't always an easy task. There's a lot of things that we need to let go of as we're recreating ourselves. For example, when I happened to be a really sick person, I had to let go of a lot of stuff. I had to let go of medications and doctor's visits and thought patterns and ways of believing about my body. And now I'm in a different state and I do everything differently. But I did have to let go of an identity structure. And so right now is your time to really be letting go of this old identity structure and rebuilding the new one. Now, whenever we have all this new energy flooding into the planet, there can be a butting of the heads. On one side, you have the people that really like to keep the energy in the old way. And on the other side, you have people who love to have new energy. And sometimes those heads can butt. Now, what's important to remember here is that actual conversations and trying to convince people of why this new energy or new way of being is probably the hardest way to address things. I'll give you this example. You can't scream and stomp about and demand peace. Peace does not come from that place. When you're screaming and stomping about and demanding peace, peace will not come. So instead, we have to go within ourselves and hold that vibration of what it is that we want. We have to actually be an example of that which we would like for other people to attune to. And as you are being this beautiful example, what will happen is people in your life will start to look at you and go, oh, hey, I want that. Oh, hey, I want to look like that. Or, oh, hey, I want my finances to be like that. Or, oh, hey, I want this kind of business. Or, oh, hey, I want to make sure that I'm not using plastics like that. People will see your example and they will start to attune to it. So you really don't have to engage in the butting of the head's energy, although there will be a lot of that this month. There's a lot of kind of forces coming together. And when those forces come together, there's energy never goes away. It always makes something new. So this energy, if you harness it, and whenever you're seeing this butting of the heads, all you have to do to be that higher vibrational frequency of light, which I know you love, is simply hold your frequency. Hold those frequencies of peace, of love, of purified source energy, of the highest potentials that you want. And I'll give you this example. So I was talking to a student the other day, and she was devastated about this old energy of Justice Ginsburg passing away. And she was convinced that this was horror for the planet and horrible for America and horrible in so many different ways. And while I too was saddened because I love Justice Ginsburg, I also know that there's another pathway, a new chapter, a new channel, that if we choose to, we can tap into that energy. And so the example is, if you're driving on the freeway and if there's an exit to the left, let's say it takes you to Phoenix, or an exit to the right that takes you to Sedona, you get to pick which lane you want to be in. And whichever lane you are in, that's the energy pathway that you're choosing. And so in this student's case, she was choosing the energy pathway of sadness and frustration and things not working out as well. We literally have to make a conscious choice of the energy pathway we want to be in. And when we choose that pathway, you start to align with that potential. So now's the time when you can really channel your energy, harness this new energy, and choose the pathway, those infinite potentials that you want to align to. And the more you align your energy, for example, the more I'm in the right-hand lane, the more I'm going to Sedona. I'm not lining up with Phoenix energy, right? And Phoenix energy, for those of you who've been to Phoenix and those of you who have been to Sedona, know that those are two vastly different energies. So now's your chance to really make sure that you're in the lane that you want for your own new beginning and the new energies of Earth, because Earth is doing something. Earth is supporting us in this massive change. And all of these energies are really queuing us up for November and December and beyond. And then we've also got the energy of real change being pushed forward. Now, I don't know about you, but in my life, whenever there's been real significant change being pushed forward, it's been because of something that I wouldn't have preferred. So there may be energies coming in this month of, real change being pushed forward. We're being pushed, all of us, into this momentous opportunity to actually transform. So whenever I feel a very strong energy coming in, one of the things that, and a tool and tip and takeaway for you is that as you start to align with the potential outcome that you want, those changes won't affect you in the same way. So the more you are aligned with the change that's being pushed forward, the less painful it becomes. Think about, how can you be aligning your energies this month with what it is that you want? What are the everyday things that you can be doing with your time, with your money, with your thoughts, with your feelings? What are those things that if you shifted right now, it wouldn't be such a big deal because you'd already be in the change? So that's what's happening this month, is what we're having, this energy of real change being pushed forward. But if you ride it and work with it and start to be the change now, you will be not only less impacted, but you'll have such a fun and playful time with this energy. It's really fun and playful if you're in the positive changes aspects of that energy. Lastly, moments of truth. So this month, there's a lot of astrology, and I'm no astrologer, so I'm not going to astrobabble you, but there's a lot of astrology to support these moments of truth and really going within and seeing the places where we have been misleading ourselves, seeing the places where we haven't understood history as we thought it was, seeing the places where we haven't understood the universe as we think it is. And when I think about truth, I always like to think about what's true for you, because what's true for you isn't necessarily true for everybody. So really finding your own empowerment, finding your own truth, really remembering that you are this divine being of light and that you actually have a direct connection, and that the more you tap into that connection, the stronger it becomes. The more you upshift your health and your nutrition, the less static you have in that connection, and the more clear that information becomes. Anytime you have a lot of static in the channel, it's going to be harder to hear the correct information. So the more clean and clear your own individual channel is through your self-love practice, your thoughts practices, your feelings practices, your nutrition and hydration practices, the more clear your channel is, the more deeply you'll be able to tap into those moments of truth, what's true for you, and also sort of this collective remembrance of what's true for us as human beings. So tips and takeaways for this month are, number one, to tap more fully into that fresh light coming in. Get yourself grounded. The earth is changing every single day. It's in a process of rebalancing. And the more grounded you are to that earth connection, the easier time you're going to have with all of this. We've forgotten that our blood is made of iron and the earth's core is actually made of iron. We have a symbiotic relationship, actually. And so if you think about, you kind of balance each other out. So the more you're grounded and connected to the planet, the better information you're going to have, the clearer your channel is going to be, and the more balanced you'll feel. And October really is about coming back into balance. Then with the new beginnings and the new paths and the new chapters, really think about, what are those things that it's truly time to let go of? What are those things that don't serve you anymore? And even so much as how your life is structured. If all of a sudden the world was a different place, what would you hold valuable? What would you hold as sacred? What would you hold as success? Success has really started to change for a lot of people. So you have the chance to tap into this new energy and be that example right now. And then with that real change pushing forward, what can you do right now? What steps can you take right now to be in alignment with the changes that are coming? And then lastly, having your own moments of truth, reminding yourself that you are the star of your own movie. You're the star of your own galaxy. And the more you radiate that light, the more you bring in your own truth and act as a living example for people to tune into, your whole entire world will change. Okay, well, thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for being here as a being of light on this planet. I love you so much, and